there is a ZCC man who is now preaching his own version of religion. He's even written his own version of, I don't know if it's a version of a Bible or a truth or some type of a truth that he wants to recommend to people. And I find it quite interesting that this is what most of these guys actually go to. I remember Bishop Maponga had the same thing, starts disagreeing with the Bible, writes his own version of truth. Interesting. And so it's the same for this Mandem. Now, like I said, this man is a former ZCC member. This is the version of his Bible or whatever book that carries his truth. Funny enough, it's called the New World Citizens. Sounds like the New World Order in my hearing. In my hearing there, and it says the Kingdom of Truth and Revelation, and I'm like, yeah, no. Everybody has a version. They have a version. They start thingy. They have a version. They will have a version. There's a Bible verse that I want to read you, but before I do that, I want to show you them burning a Bible, going towards this. So ZCT member burning a Bible, affirming his own version of truth. And I thought, it's becoming a classic. It's becoming a classic. You've seen a lot of this. I have my own version of truth, and they start recommending their own thing. I'm going to put up the video here, and this is it here.
Bible,
this book here, those that love it call it the Bible. They've just started, they're burning it. It has done much damage in this world of ours. Our earth was taken, so basically our land, basically. They lost cows or herds or whatever. So then we lost our money. I wonder how he means that one.
Other properties,
it has broken many homes. So he's making a justification by saying that there are false prophets who've used this book in order to think. Yeah, but you can't use a fake to delegitimize the legit. It doesn't work like that. Like you can't say, oh yeah, there is fake Gucci, so all Gucci is fake. No, there is an original. You can't use charlatans to say that. But anyways. They have forced themselves on women in South Africa. He's talking about Papa Bush came here, left a millionaire.
A multi-millionaire or maybe a billionaire.
So he used this Bible to come and rob people. So this book teaches them about their spirituality. Everybody has a version. Everybody has a version. I'm telling you. They go rogue, want to hear nothing about the Bible. They start their own truth. That should tell you something. Man wants to worship one way or another. Man knows he wants to worship. And so he will rather create alternatives to doing that or something. But he always wants to worship. man goes unto this, it's almost like it's bound to happen. And so it's no different for this ZCC man who's now started his own version of religion, who is now out here claiming he's found his own version of truth. The Bible warns about this. Yeah, now, like this specifically. Now, I'm not talking about, there shall be false prophets. No, not that. About this particular type. Like I said, you saw Maponga. He came out and then he had his own book. What my own gospel, the gospel according to Maponga. He wrote a book like that. A version of truth according to Maponga. Now him also, he has his own version of thinking. How many versions do we need? Y'all mandems keep writing. The mandems keep writing. We just gonna have to keep buying your books. For every generation to be someone that claims to have their own version of revelation, their own thing. It's fine, don't worry, we have the Bible that does that accurately, thank you. It's sad. But anyways, as I've said, the Bible talks about this. So you might be wondering, which verse exactly, Ricky? Which verse actually speaks about it? It's the book of Acts, chapter number 20, verse number 29 up until verse number 30. And this is what it says. It says, Paul's farewell to Ephesians. It says, I know that after my departure, so this is Paul saying after he leaves this particular area, he says, savage wolf. That's not me, ne? Yes. And it's not me calling them savage wolves. It's the Bible says that, but it tells you why he's calling them that, okay? Will come in amongst you and will, so you see now this one is in South Africa, and will not spare the wolf. They won't spare the mandems. They will not care. The idea of sparing the wolf here is, although they sound like they are legitimately concerned about something, that's not it. Is that they do so that they may pull them. They may pull them in. They will not spare the wolf. It means that they will use them at their own expense. And even from your own numbers. So you have people here in South Africa who say, us South Africans, apartheid, and they will use that in order to make a justification for their own version of truth. And he says, and men will rise up, even amongst your number, men will rise up and distort the truth, to draw away disciples after them. That's it right there. That's why he calls them salvage wolves. He called them salvage wolves because under God, they are well taken care of. You see, we are taken care of under God. Unfortunately, we may go to churches that are false and all that kind of stuff. That's what it is. But we are under God's arm when we have the Bible. And so the Bible gives us that particular position by which when we have it, I'm pointing to my Bible, when we have it, we have a reference to what type of shepherds we will have. But he says here, there will be people that will seek to draw away. That's a very important one right there. They seek to draw away. They distort the truth to draw away. Distort truth to draw away. I had a discussion with one fella from the Pan-African movement, and in my video response to this person, I mentioned this particular thing. I am not your disciple. You are not my teacher. So that's a very intentional thing to state. If you think we are just here for them to teach us, I don't know you. There are people that want to learn from me, not me. You are not my teacher. Stop it. It's weird. You can't force me to be your teacher. It doesn't work like that. So in that video, when I stated that, just so that you understand where does it come from, denying a person thinking that they are teaching you, that's where it comes from. They distort truth so that they can draw away disciples to them, after them. He says, therefore, Be on alert and remember that for 3 years I never stopped warning each one of you night and day in tears. Everything that I could have said to you, I said it right there. Take heed. There are people that want to use your following. How do they start? By distorting the truth. When you're attaching human error, okay? When you're attaching human error to promote your own version. How different is it from what others have done? We draw people to God. The Bible says when he is thinking, he will draw all men unto him. That's what Jesus says. Okay? The Bible says that about Jesus, because we shouldn't be drawing disciples after us, we should draw disciples after him. You see? So they distort, bring a little bit of apartheid, bring a little bit and say the Bible was used in order to think, yeah, but the Bible never said those things. You know that there is such a thing as a slave's Bible, right? You know that. They wrote their own version of things so that they could distort what the book says. So when you read it, you only read what they said. It distorts the truth. They misused verses. Now, because you don't know those verses, and you just go and you peddle these ideas, be very careful. Sexuality show, the daily Christian commentary videos. The Bible says the falling away. When we start to see the falling away, and you can see where the falling comes, it's very important we have doctrine as the center of our belief. Doctrine should be the center of our belief. Must be very careful of people trying to seeking to draw disciples after them by referring to a different truth. The Bible warns us about that. If we don't take heed, it is on us. So they were burning the Bible by distorting truth so that they could refer to their own. Be very careful and keep a lookout, because there is many of them.